So last week I talked a little bit about some new chords that I wanted you to learn. One example being G major here. Another being C add 9. And then even before that, I talked about A minor. So what I want to do today is start adding 3 chords to each progression, and I have 3 different chord progressions I'm going to teach you today, and they're going to challenge you in different ways. And before we go further, I'm going to make the notation of the hands a little bit more streamlined, because what I've noticed I've been doing is I've been saying your first, second, third finger, or saying things like ring, ring, pointer, middle finger. So I'm going to use a number system. So just to explain that very quickly, your first finger will be your index finger here. So if I say your first finger, this is what I mean. Second will be your middle. Third will be your ring finger. Fourth will be your pinky. And then very rarely, if it ever comes up, your fifth will be your thumb. So I just wanted to clear that up before we get going. So here are the examples of the chord progressions I'm going to teach you today, and each one's going to be like a different step of difficulty, and they're going to teach you different things. So the first one I wanted to teach you is just using the C major chord and just taking your finger off of the frets, and how that changes the flavor of the chord, but it's still a C major chord. So if you remember, a C major chord is just our third finger on the A string here. So we'll have this note, and then we'll take our middle finger on the second fret of the D string. So we have that note, and then we have the open G. We have the open B. And we'll have our first finger on the B string here, and then we'll have the E. So we'll have, once again, third finger on the E string, second finger on the D string here, second fret, and then our first finger on the first fret of the B string. So the first chord progression is just basically, it's keeping the C major chord, but it's just taking our fingers off. So it'll sound something like this. The strumming pattern will be down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So here's an example of that. I'm going to start off pretty slow, but you can pick up the pace as you get more comfortable. So it'll be something like this. So all I'm doing there is I'm taking that C major chord, and for the first part, so once I go to C major, all I'm doing is taking my first finger off and putting my pinky on the third fret of the B string, and then I get that C add 9. It's very similar to the chord I taught you last week with just one less finger, so it'll sound like this. And then once I do that, I take the pinky off, and then I just have my first 2 fingers, my ring and my middle finger, on the same strings, and then it'll sound like this. This is actually a C major 7. So last week I taught you an F major 7, and this is just a C major 7. And like I said, don't worry too much about the music theory right now, because I just want you to kind of focus on how moving things around can keep the same chord, but it gives you a different flavoring of the chord. So let's go over that very slowly, and then we can kind of start speeding it up and see how that sounds like as well. So remember, it'll be the C major like we normally do it. Then we're going to take our first finger off and put our pinky on the third fret of the B string. We'll do that, and then we're just going to take our pinky off and have our ring and middle finger on the first 2, on the third fret of the E string and the second fret of the D string. So it'll be down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So let's do that. Down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, down, So I would practice that a lot just because it's getting practice on not only like very small chord changes, but also you're getting your pinky worked out there as well. And it's also you'll probably notice that when you switch to taking both these fingers off, your other fingers might fly off just because your hand's not used to keeping down on certain strings. So it'll be good practice for that. So once you feel comfortable at that speed, you could start speeding it up more if you wanted to, because I originally had it at a tempo something more like this. So like I said, start off as slow as you need to. It's not a race to get faster, but that will be good practice. And once you feel like you have that down, we can move on to the next chord progression, which is going to introduce not only a new chord, but there's going to be a second variation of this chord progression that will really test your chord changes. And this will probably be one of the most difficult ones you do that we've learned so far, because there's going to be a bigger stretch. So the chord progression will be G major here to C add 9, and then we're going to introduce D major, and it'll go back to C add 9, and then G. So if you remember, the G major chord is our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. So we got this note, and then we have the first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string here. Then we have the open D, open G. We have our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. So that's the G major. And then to make it easier, this first variation, once we play that a couple times, we're just going to move down to the C add 9. So the cool thing about this is that your pinky and ring finger, they stay in the same position, and then your first two fingers just move down a string. So the C add 9 would be your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then your first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string here. So you have that. So it's just, and move down a string. So this is where it gets tricky, right? Because all of a sudden you have this new chord, and it's got kind of an awkward movement. So this is the D major chord. So it's going to have the first two strings completely muted. So this is where your thumb can kind of wrap over the fret here, and or over the neck of the guitar, so you can block those notes out. But then you'll have the open D here, and then you'll have your first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then you'll have your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then you'll have your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the E string here. So remember, it's these two strings, the low E and the A, are blocked out. So you have that. So this one's going to be really tricky because it's a bit more of a larger movement. So I would practice first just going very slowly and playing each chord a couple times just to prepare yourself for that transition. So let's do that. So we'll have the strum pattern for this will be down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So we'll play the G major 2 times doing that strum pattern, then the C add 9, and then the D major, same pattern. So it'll be down, down, up, down, 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 up, So I imagine for most new players, that one's going to take a lot longer to get used to, just because I think the D major chord is very difficult to change to from the very beginning, especially since a lot of our chord changes have just been moving like 1 or 2 fingers here and there. Like we have our C major and our A minor, that's just 1 finger changing, or like G to C add 9, there's like hardly any movement. So this will be a super good exercise in getting larger movements in your chord changes. And if you feel like you can overcome that, then I have the same progression, but a little bit more challenging, because instead of doing the G to the C add 9, I'm gonna do G to D major, then to C add 9. So you can see there's gonna be a lot more movement. So we have to go from G here, and then we have to move our fingers all the way down to D major here. So just to reiterate from last week, when you're making these chord changes, you want to basically, once you're ready to change chords, you want to relax your hands, let them form the shape mid-air, and then land on the frets. Now, it's going to feel very difficult to do this for a while. It's going to take a lot of practice and muscle memory, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's just repetition like anything else, you know, especially if you haven't done this before. So I'll strike that G, then I'll relax, and then my fingers will come up and start making the D shape. So you can see how my first and second finger are coming back down. And then we have it there. So let's go over the more difficult version of this chord progression. So remember, it'll be G, and then we jump down to D, then we'll do the C add 9. And it'll still be down, 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 up. So it'll be so stuff like that. Like I said, this one's gonna be a lot more challenging, so don't feel bad if you can't do it, but it is something to keep in mind. And then the last one I wanted to talk about was using A minor here, and then jumping to C add 9, and then to G major. So once again, this one's gonna be trickier just because we have to get from this A minor to the C add 9, and then to the G. So this part will be easier because we've been doing this a lot, but going from A minor to C add 9 will be a little trickier, I think. So the pattern will be down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So I think this one's the most difficult because we have a pretty substantial chord change almost immediately. And then we have the up, up part of the strums. We have down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down. So that's pretty difficult, I think. So let's go over that very slowly. So we down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, 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 down, up. So like I said, this one you may need to take a little bit slower, just because I think this will take a while to get used to, because you have to not only shift pretty fast compared to what we've been doing, but you also have to get 4 fingers on there instead of the usual 2 or 3. But at least, that's why I purposely made a break. Once we get to the C add 9, we have this G major, and we kind of hang on it for a little bit. So that gives you time to relax, get your timing again, and then get ready for the switch back. Oh, I just realized I may have given a different strum pattern at the very beginning. My original intention was, so that's down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. So honestly, just practice both ones I said, because it's going to help either way. Developing strum patterns and feeling comfortable adding those upstrokes is going to be super important. So it doesn't really matter either way, you're getting practice. So my original intent was down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So once again, don't feel bad if you can't do any of these at like the speed I've recommended, because everyone's going to start at a different point, and getting rhythm locked in, especially early on, is pretty tricky. But like I said, you repeat it enough times, it'll become much simpler, and everything builds on top of each other. So if you know how to change, from our C to A, you're gonna have that locked down pretty soon. And then you might go from A to C add 9. You practice that, and then it'll become easier. And then before you know it, you'll feel so comfortable changing between different shapes that you will hardly have to think about it. But another point I'd like to make here is that if you're struggling with any of these chord progressions, just take it one piece at a time. So find the part that you're struggling with the most and try to isolate it. So if we go back to the first chord progression, let's say we're having trouble with just the rhythm. I would just hang on to the C major chord and don't even bother moving your hands, because remember we had that down, down, up, and play it as slow as you need to. So if you really got to slow it down, I'd do up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. So keep doing that until you feel like you've got it a little cleaner and you can feel like you're locking in on the rhythm a lot better. And then if you feel like you're struggling getting your pinky down here on the 3rd fret of the B string, you could just practice switching between these two. So you could do down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. Then you can add the final part, which would be taking your ring finger off and just having your first 2 fingers on the fretboard. So then we can go back and altogether it would be And if you feel like you can't move on to the next chord progression, what you could do is just work on this, but build up your speed. So then you could start sounding more like this. So let's do that again with the second chord progression, which was the G major, C add 9 to D. So if we're really having trouble with that chord change from C add 9 to D, which will most likely be the case, I would just start from the C add 9, play very slowly, and practice making that shape mid-air, and then being ready to strum it. So this is what's called like chunking information or making blocks of information. So we're lowering the burden of our brain by taking off this G major chord and starting right where the pain point is, And then we can just practice this repeatedly, so then we'll get more repetitions in. So we'll do, and maybe we don't even bother about the strum pattern. Maybe we just do, and then play it 4 times, relax, make that shape in midair. Looks good. Relax, make the shape. Relax, fingers midair, back down. Remember these two, the E and A string are blocked. 2, 3, 4. So you notice by cutting out this G chord, you're saving a couple seconds every repetition, so that builds up to you making more practices between this switch as opposed to doing the whole thing. But once you feel like you've got enough muscle memory and you want to challenge yourself to do that, to add that G in there, then you can put it back, and then we can do just really slowly. So that's the harder version, but if you need to start back from going from G to C add 9, do that first. So that'd be. And then same deal with the final chord progression. I think most trouble is going to come from this fast switch that requires 4 fingers for that C add 9. So remember the A minor, if you forgot, is the 2nd finger of the D string on the 2nd fret, and then we have the ring finger or 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then we have our 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string. And then we won't have the low E ringing out at all. We have that open A. So I would do the same thing. Practice as slow as you need to, and don't even worry about the picking pattern, and just do 3, 4, relax, start making the shape. 2, 3, 4, relax, start making the A minor shape. Relax, start making the shape mid-air. Relax, make the shape mid-air. Relax, make the shape. And your fingers are probably going to hurt a lot while you're doing this, especially since you're using 4 fingers and you're holding them for a pretty long time. So don't feel afraid to take a break. So once you feel comfortable with the C add 9 to or the A minor to the C add 9, then you can add back the G, because that'll be easier to do. So then you could just do slowly. So do that for as long as you need to, and start building your muscle memory, because I think the strumming pattern for this one's going to be particularly difficult just because you have those 2 upstrokes. So it'd be, what was it? Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So that's one variation I did, and then I did, yeah, that was the other one. Down, down, up, down, down. Down, up, down. I think that's going to be especially difficult, so I would save that for the very end, but it's worth, even if you can only do 1 chord, I would recommend practicing that. So you'll have down, up, down, 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 up, down. So keep practicing all 3 of those, and then next week what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to introduce probably a couple more chords and then maybe a few different variations of chord progressions now that we have the D major here. And we're just gonna keep building upon what we know, and I'm gonna try to take it in the most logical direction I can, because one of the issues I have with a lot of like YouTube videos online is that they're very inconsistent and they seem to jump all over the place. And even though it's never been easier to learn an instrument, there's just too much information out there, and I think it can become difficult to focus in on something and learn in a logical way. So stay tuned. Next week I'm going to figure out some more chord progressions. I might start introducing a little bit of music theory. I'm still kind of thinking on that. I think it might be a little bit too early to worry too much about it. So just keep practicing those chord changes, and you'll get a lot out of it. So I will see y'all next week.